Alright, so this video is basically just to kind of show you how my bitching Betty is working, and how you, if you have one of these modules and you've gone to an aftermarket stereo and you've disconnected that silly center speaker and all the stuff that, you know, wasn't really foresaw for future by Nissan, you know, stereo, etc. So, you know, when you go aftermarket, you know, you kind of want to get rid of those speakers that are in the dash, because they do sound like poop anyway, and who the heck wants a center speaker when he wants to go on the left, blah blah blah. Anyway, so but what happens is by doing that, you lose the Betty voice, and the Betty is the voice warning system that comes with the car. So what I've done is, I'm a little bit kind of a tinker or geek kind of guy, so I ripped my harness out here, and I cut it and exposed all the wire, and then took the plug-in section here and the Betty out. And I went to the FSM and just started tracing the wires, and I went ahead and labeled everything to figure out which sensor was which and whatever, so that I could test this thing remotely and see if it was working or not. I had found a couple of them in junkyards, and to me this was just one of the just kind of like charming points of this car. So what I've done, and this will make things a lot easier for people that want to do this mod themselves, is when the speakers, you can see the wires coming off the harness here at the plug. Basically your yellow and black and your yellow and red are your speaker outs on this thing, and it has a preamp of its own, but does not have amplification of its own. It used to use the internal power of the car to power the center speaker when the car is off, and then when the car is anyway, and then when the car is on, then the other set would take over and go to your stereo system and fade your stereo out, let you know that your fuel is low or whatever. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is take these out, cut them, splice Y cables, right? Basically putting your two reds together and your two blacks together, right, into like your basic like this kind of thing right here. Now this goes to one of these little handy dandy like iPod style USB chargeable speakers, right? And so you can see I have the 1/8 inch stereo jack pre-wired and a USB charger cable already pre-wired. Now this is easy because then I can just remove this and change this as technology changes for these things. And the only thing I may have to change is the USB cable without really doing too much more modification to the wiring here. So to power the USB, we have a 12 volt power outlet, one of these handy dandy 12 volt USB adapters that you would find to charge your phone or whatever, and I've run a power cable. It goes all the way through the guts here to the power antenna, and I tap the ignition wire, the power here. So when the car turns on, it immediately starts charging this speaker. So if the car's been off for a while, obviously the speaker is going to be discharged. But as soon as the car turns on, it starts charging the speaker. So by the time you get to your destination, even if it's only 30 seconds later, you're going to get a light warning sensor, at least letting you know, hey, your lights are on. So I'm going to go ahead and wire this up really quick, and you can see how I got it kind of coming out here, out of this hole above the spare tire. And I'm just going to kind of wire that there, make it kind of pretty, and then make sure that my cover fits back over it again, and then we'll do a test and you can see how the Betty works. Okie dokie, so we're all wired up now, and as you see I'm about to wire through, and then I kind of just velcroed that thing in there. It's got some good industrial grade velcro, and just stuck it in there. It's just as a time being. I mean, there is a way to tap it with screws and all that crap, but you know, just for demonstration purposes right now, I just want to see if it works, and that will hold. I mean, it's good velcro, and I cleaned the area very well before I put it in, blah blah blah. So this is something I want to caution everybody, is that make sure you match your colors here. Okay, but you may not be wiring the 1/8 inch stereo jack unless you make your own custom cable. Could be a little trigger happy and funny. So what I did was I wired it with 2 female ports, That way I could jimmy between the two to figure out which one was positive and which one was negative, because you know, it just could be funny on yours, especially when you're dealing with these external speakers that are pre-amplified or that are amplified on their own. So I recommend that. And that's easy. That's an easy fix. You know, that's something you can do. And if this cable ever goes bad, you don't have to do any of this crap again. You just have to wire a new one with new female ports, plug it in, and you're good to go. All right, so let's fire her up and let's take a listen to Miss Betty. As you can see by the big bright blue light there, it is getting a charge. So she's charging up. Now turn her on, and
lights are on. Lights are on. Lights are on.
Okie dokie. And then obviously it shuts off when you turn off your lights. And it's just coming through the little speaker. Now, you know, some people may say, well, that's bootleg. You have this stupid little speaker there, whatever. Okay, well, yeah, it may be bootleg, but whatever. You know, you could get creative. You could cut some holes there and then mount one of your own. But keep in mind, this technology is going to change. So you're going to have to maybe swap out this USB cable for something else that's the charger. But the 1/8" stereo is always going to be 1/8" stereo. So that can really go wherever you want it to go. And then this whole thing can always work for you. And then if you can always find a Betty somewhere down the road, remember she's 82 or 83. So anyway, that's the quick Betty tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it.